Change is a-coming to Nintendo Switch, and it's not just that bold, colorful new Nintendo Switch Lite. There's some changes coming to the OG Switch as well, as we now know, thanks to an article from The Verge, that Nintendo has filed for a Class 2 permission change with the FCC. Now, what is that exactly? Well, it allows them to make tweaks to the OG Switch without needing to recertify, and then they can still go sell it as something slightly different under the hood.
Yes, we've seen consoles do this before. That same article on The Verge notes it back to the Red Ring of Death and how there were many consoles that were just destined to pass away at some point, but then Xbox figured out the problem and then they just had a new Xbox out there that was the exact same Xbox, but without those issues. So as far as what this is going to actually do, it's all speculation at this point. The FCC filing is fact. Yes, that's happening. So it's safe to say, Zach, that two new Switch consoles. I know that this one isn't technically new. It's not the Switch Pro.
What you think, yeah.
No, it's the same Switch. We want to just hammer that home. It is the same Switch. It's just different internals.
No XL, no Pro. Consumers, buyers probably won't even know that it's something new. What they've filed for here is a change of SoC type, which is system on chip. They've change of NAND memory type, which is the flash storage. CPU board is changed due to the above two components. So there's a lot of wondering right now about what this could mean, and frankly it could be nothing. Perhaps they've just found a more efficient way to structure this. Perhaps they have found a cheaper way to manufacture. We know that the Lite has a little bit better battery life, and they say that's due to a better structuring and layout of the chips. So maybe this is just streamlining the components across both consoles, but there is an opportunity for this to provide some slight enhancements.
And that's where the excitement comes in, right? You hear this NAND memory might be getting an upgrade, so then you start to wonder, could you potentially have a Switch with more than 32 gigs? I would love that. Ooh, could you potentially have some, faster storage if this does end up that rumored Nvidia chip that is being added, that is upgraded, the Tegra chip that is in the new Shield that is coming? Yeah, I mean, it would all make sense. I would love that personally. Could lead to faster loading times, a much quieter system as well is something that people are talking about. So some potential for excitement here.
It feels like small quality of life improvements. This isn't going to really boost the way games look. It's not going to dramatically change the experience. It doesn't seem like anything that would require you to run out and buy this in any way. But they do note that based on the age of the chip, that even a small update could prove fertile for what it could do in terms of faster loads, as you mentioned, or things of that sort.
I mean, why not? The Switch has been on the market for, it's going to be year 3, right? Year 3 is like happening. So by the time that this hypothetically comes out later this year, yeah, these chips are older and they've been on the older Nvidia Shield. So yes, an update is always a good thing. Who doesn't want an update, especially for future consumers? I know people that maybe just bought a Switch and might
they don't care about the update. Yeah, we don't care about the update. I mean, it's still interesting, and it's a little more interesting to me because of something Emily Rogers has said. She is a known switcheroo, and she says, and she's talked about this for a while, but she confirmed today, sure, there's a revision coming this year to replace the OG Switch, and I'm expecting it to come in at least 2 colors. Now, honestly, that's what has me more excited, because I don't need a Switch that has a slight change of the layout for a little bit better battery life, and I don't need a Switch that has a slight improvement to load times, but I may need a Switch in a new color. Now, Gabe, 2 colors is what the Switch is viable now. In fact, there's more than 2 colors because there's limited editions, but I feel like she is referencing maybe a change in the actual Switch instead of just the Joy-Con that come alongside it.
I didn't even think about that. The actual back of the Switch itself, instead of black, maybe you get a cool white, maybe some funky colors. Yeah, I don't know, man. I would dig that. That might incentivize me, because as it stands, very little reason to get our hopes up about this, right? I feel like anything truly like newsworthy as far as changes go, anything that is like noticeable, they're gonna save for whatever next thing that comes out next. Yeah, so oh man, new color though. Oh, that's
potentially
cool. Potentially, yeah.
If you are going to introduce a slightly modified internal Nintendo Switch, maybe you bring it to the market in a new color to really jazz those holiday sales. We know that they're going to be pushed immensely by the Switch Lite. That thing at $200 is going to sell super well, but
yeah,
what if you want to incentivize the $300 console to sell a little bit more also? And maybe you do that via a new color. And maybe you also can say that the Switch has been optimized, per se. Not a new system, but it's been optimized to the latest, production standards or whatnot. And maybe this ends up being pretty cool, or maybe it ends up being nothing. But either way, like Gabe said, the FCC filing is factual. It is seeing a change. We'll have to let you know what that actual change is once it occurs. If we know about it, when we know about it, when will it appear? It's not coming tomorrow, but it could be soon.
I do want to say, though, that is a very stealthy and sneaky and genius way to get these new consoles out there, right? Hey, a new color, guys. It's the same Switch, even though it's kind of not, but just intensifies with new colors.
Mostly.
Yeah. No, I know, but I'm saying for the consumer, right? If you
then the hardcore, they come out and say, hey, listen, there is a slightly optimized Switch, and we know you probably don't need it, but if you want a new color, then you get it anyways.
It's a good way to try to push those, for sure.
Right? Especially if they're already going to be introducing a nice transfer method between the OG Switch and the Switch Lite.
That needs to work if there's, a bunch of new Switches happening.
Nintendo, they got the devil in the details over there. Let us know your take on this in the comments down below. What do you think this FCC filing may mean? Probably not a whole lot, but give us your take. And if you'd be interested in buying a new Switch, if it had slightly optimized features under the hood, if it had slightly improved storage, if it had a new color, what would get you to tip your wallet and empty out your coins? For me, it's the color. For Gabe, it's the storage. Let us know your take. Until that time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Fantastic day for myself and Gabe. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. We'll bring you more Switch news soon. Until then, SwitchForce out.